Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh, it's kind of good to be back, and I'm kind of scared. It's been a minute. You get rusty really quickly. I tell you what. But sitting back, trying to digest so much. How are you all keeping up with it? The floodgates have more than opened. Everything's draining out. And it's very exciting. And I'm going to do my best to keep this more so a celebratory moment in time. This is very historical. But there is a part of this, man, like we must prepare for anything. Let's just touch on for a second. Trump had multiple assassination attempts. They stood up kangaroo courts, tried arresting him for the most nefarious things. Well, they did, in fact, arrest him and raid his personal property. It's unbelievable the world we live in. It's unbelievable the corruption we're truly up against. But I'm already diving into it, and I want to keep this more celebratory. So, oh my gosh, kick off the Instagram, why don't we? I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support. Oh my gosh, let's get into it. Dang gimp hand. Welcome to a muzzled chat. Let's go back to this jingle. Why not? So, congratulations, everyone. Yeah, I definitely would like to take a minute to celebrate. This is and has been a step in the right direction. And I'm utterly impressed, surprised, and excited for everything that continually is getting announced. It's like the house of cards is kind of crumbling. A lot of evil is scrambling, yet so many patriots are stepping forward. I mean, countries are unifying. Ooh, let's just take that momentum and continue. So I want to, in fact, let's all express gratitude to our loving Creator God and our Savior Jesus Christ. We are so loved. We are so blessed. And yes, we live in a blessed time. I can only imagine what evil is going to be thrown at us. But let's not be walking in fear, okay? 365 fear nots right here in this multitude of books known as the Bible. Let's keep diving into those. And right here, freedom over fear. Over fear. Let's this cover image. Let me back out of this. Oh, it's too small for me to even read. Fail. Epic fail. I apologize. Let's continue. I'm grateful. So grateful for some. We don't have that many, but some liberated free speech platforms. Clearly, this played a huge role in educating people, opening people's eyes, ramping up that sense of urgency. And without that, I don't see this win happening, period. So I'm grateful for Rumble. I'm grateful for Elon, and there's still question marks with Elon, but I'm grateful for Elon. I'm grateful for what he did with X. That was very monumental to this whole movement, 100%. Grateful for Telegram. There are ones that we're not even really affiliated with, but out there, thank you to them all. Grateful for the podcast space and these podcast apps for allowing so many patriots to speak truth. I want to thank everyone who, in fact, showed up to vote. It clearly was too big to rig. Well, more, we broke their system, and that is a good thing. The fact is, our job has just begun. So right now, it is time to double down. So let's take a moment to celebrate and be excited. Absorb it, soak it in, let it fuel you. But hopefully in this experience, we've all realized, like the title of this image or the image cover, we all have responsibilities. And if in fact we want freedom. I was even debating on having a different cover image that talked on freedom is worth dying for. So let's all ask ourselves, do we truly value freedom? And not just like use wordplay. We absorb the very essence of the words we're speaking, and to the extent we're speaking them, and then we actually back that up. I'm willing to die for our freedoms 100% since the get-go. No one in their right mind, I mean, there's no way I would be able to do this. Being a flawed man, having skeletons like we all do, and allow evil, like we got to just be willing to die to really push things on this level. So with that, I'm so very grateful for everyone that pushed against the war machine, pushed against censorship, pushed the envelope on all their social medias, conversations with loved ones and workplaces and social places. Every conversation counts. We can only look at the outcome as to the actual impact it's had. That's why we say on this platform so much, do not discredit the impact you can have. And we want to continue to magnify what we, the people, want. We want to continue to magnify, expose and shine the light on what seems to be our greatest threats. So it's crucial that we double down and show up like we've never showed up before. After all, inauguration is some time away, and Lord only knows what is going to take place till then. Well, stay tuned. We got some pretty fun clips coming up here just shortly. I don't know what else I really have to say other than because everyone that pushed against that war machine, it also included many content creators who sacrificed much. In fact, even put everything on the line. Thank you. You were very instrumental. It's no secret that we all have been ridiculed, slandered, censored, called every stinking name in the book. We have lost friends. We have lost family members, folks. But to those that had those losses and faced all of that, they lived out the meaning and presented to all of us that they valued freedom on all our behalfs. Okay, so with our work just beginning, let's get back to a bit of celebratory, and we got some pretty fun clips here to share. Fact, we're gonna ebb and flow here a little bit today. We're gonna dive into some of the, like this. Oh my goodness, wow. Y'all probably have come across this already. It's pretty much gone incredibly viral. But after Trump gave his victory speech, this began to ring out, which is everyone singing a hymn praising God. It just goes to show, I mean, it says so much. So I don't even have the words. Enjoy it. Grab a tissue box. You may need it. But this is so powerful. And I'm going to be continually playing this back for months. Some have great voices. Good thing I wasn't there. Wow. Wow. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. I can only imagine. I'm over here trying not to get emotional, okay? I got a little bit of an episode to get through here, but for those that were there, I could only imagine. Like, my heart is touched. The fruit of the Spirit, I mean, that's a moment, no doubt, every individual that was there will remember for the rest of their lives. And that's where it's beyond politics. This is a spiritual warfare. I mean, if we could get it right and we can get our heads out of you know where and get tapped in and actually see the bigger picture, could you freaking imagine? Could you imagine through unification as God's children what in fact we could bring into this world? The experience that we could have, but even more crucially, we could pass on to our children. And we could say that more confidently, that in fact we would be passing on something to our children, because the way it's been looking up to this point is questionable as to how much longer we even have on this in this life. Well, if you truly look at the warfare, the political side of it, we could win. We could win all the political, but still lose the overall war. Now, through politics, question mark, could lead to winning the bigger war through the political, but it's been so corrupted. We shouldn't just roll the dice on that. It is going to take a unification of we the people. And when you see moments like that, it just breathes light. It breathes hope. Okay, now this is really cool. The Trump effect is insane. Okay, let's hear what this guy has to say. Bunch of great news.
Donald Trump's not even president yet. Have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America to be taken off the terrorist list.
To be taken off the terrorist list. Could you believe that? They could have been, I believe the cabal has been demonizing them worse than they actually are, just to continue the bloodlust and the wars and the enrichment of these dang evildoers. But wow.
And said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats. Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of the Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey, America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it. The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members. Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs. He sent Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton into depression. Because of all of this amazing news, white, liberal, ugly women are now refusing to have sex with men.
That's
America
unbelievable.
Is in fact being made great again.
You know what?
Donald Trump.
Yes, as much as he hit on some really profound points, I'm actually pulling up another gal. She made some great points too. Before we move into the next clip, didn't I share it? Yeah, I sure did. So here it is. Let me pull it up here. Okay, where were we? Right here. Boom. Let's just insert this and hear what this lovely young lady's got to say. She might touch on a couple of the same points, but this is pretty good stuff.
This man is not even in office yet, and he's already making change. It's only been a few days since President Trump was re-elected for his second term, and let me show you everything the rest of the world has done. Hamas has began calling for an immediate end to the war.
Okay, we went over that.
He takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war in Ukraine very seriously and supports it. China says that they are hopeful for a peaceful coexistence with the United States and respect the choice of the American people. Prince of Saudi Arabia calls to strengthen the relations with the United States following Trump's win. Trump is also set to travel to India in 2025 to meet with their prime minister. And also, Hungary's prime minister has had a telephone conversation with Trump already, saying we have big plans for the future. Do you remember when they took foreign affairs out of the debate between Trump and Biden a few years ago?
Wow.
Yeah, this is why.
Exactly.
Because my president would have swept the floor with yours. For goodness sakes, the bitch that got selected for you now still has a few months in office and won't do anything with it. All of this has happened and we have yet to even begin our 4 years. I cannot wait for Inauguration Day.
Such a good point. That's the main reason to play her clip. Let it expose more of this freaking circus that is taking place. Now, see what happens? This is just a step in the right direction. This is what happens when a country more so becomes unified and the people have had enough. Like, it's crazy. You can see how it ebb and flows throughout history. You know, the citizens get, they fight wars, they win wars, they find some peace and comfort, and then, tyranny and other things slip in. It gets bad. And once it gets bad enough, then the pushback happens again. So it's not a time to kick her feet up. It's not a time to entirely are you kidding me? Once again, there are going to be, crazy things that take place. They tried to murder him. They tried to lock him up. You name it. Make him not fit for running. So I kind of lost the bigger picture point. I hope I drove it home good enough. Let's continue. This gentleman, oh wow. Now he includes more of the structure of evil in all of this, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, like, this is why I want you all to come on the podcast. Speak your energy and the way you will put words together will influence people and motivate people and educate people in ways he can't, that gal can't, I can't. It's collectively we essentially become that rising tide that rises all ships. So I think that's just the point I was trying to get at with the unification of this country. And we take our roles as citizens seriously, then we can ensure what happens tomorrow. And it's only we, the people, that have our best interest at heart. And I do believe we could start seeing past, especially if things start shifting, like I hope, with censorship hopefully being dampened down, more people, coming over to free speech platforms. So less indoctrination, more critical thinking and thinking for themselves, basing basically not even just judgment, but their view on individuals is to the fruit they bear, what they say, what they do. So essentially, it's not even like so much they're doing their research. They're not taking people's word for it, and they're able to access the source of information. And let's just think on this for a second. I truly believe you get the most radical leftist and right at this point, which it's all, we got to see even past all that. It's been used and weaponized to pit us against each other. But even the most extreme, just to use these terms, I'd venture to say most individuals would agree on upwards of 80% of issues and things. 80%. So why are we up in arms and can't even have adult conversations due to 20%? We could have build a very solid friendship off of that 80%, by the way. And then we could agree to disagree on that 20%. We could ebb and flow and settle on some of it. But needless to say, we gain the ability to communicate again, have an adult conversation again, agree to disagree again. Then we could even unify more, securing things that much more. Once again, what do we have to fear? The dang globalists. There's millions of us, thousands of them, if even that. Millions of us. Let's go.
Ooh, boy, y'all should have when you had a chance. There's too many of us now. We all think the same, baby. It was always bigger than Trump. Like we tried to tell you guys in the past, if you take him out now, it won't even matter. 7 people will replace him, bro. Who you want? You want J.D. Vance in? You want Vivek Ramaswamy? Who you want? You want Elon Musk running? All of us think the exact same, bro. All of us want freedom. Turns out regular people don't think you should chop off your kid's genitalia. Turns out regular people don't think you should let literally everybody into your country. Turns out regular people don't think their taxes should be paying to go to endless wars nonstop so that politicians get richer and more people get slaughtered. Turns out a lot of people think you shouldn't trust the government, so you should be able to keep your guns. Turns out we don't want the government involved with what we can and can't say, because that ends with them controlling everything. Turns out regular people don't want corporations who paid for lobbyists to be able to poison all of America so they can stay rich and get the pharmaceutical companies richer. We haven't even scratched the surface yet on how deep this thing's gonna go, and you're gonna be grateful at the end of it, dude. And you know what? Credit where credit's due. If you're a person who voted for the first time because of an influencer like me or somebody else on social media, please make a video right now and hashtag my first time and say you voted because of this influencer. And
that'll
let's give
build
them a
momentum.
sliver of honor for telling the truth on platforms that hated our guts over the last 8 years, bro.
Yes. Good stuff. There was a point as he was going through yeah, it's bigger. I mean, this is spiritual warfare. It's bigger in that sense. But it's interesting. I think that's kind of the point. That it takes these type of victories for a certain percentage of individuals to gain courage to now speak up, stand up, which is good. But we should be willing, even amongst like everyone, you happen to be in a situation where just everyone's upset or whatnot, like you still stand for truth and you don't waver. Freedom over fear, folks. All right, let's watch some of the pouty faces, shall we? This is a celebration after all, right? Dude, lock her up. How is she free?
There's no point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one.
Oh, pouty. Oh my gosh. Now, I genuinely, when it's more the civilian, like indoctrinated side, my heart goes out to those individuals because there's been so many war tactics against individuals. Now, some of them are pretty far gone and they're actually fulfilling evil things themselves. But the ones that have just more so drank the Kool-Aid and didn't get the memo, essentially, that, hey, if you're not on a free speech platform and you're tuning into controlled true propagandists, then you're not free in your own mind. And they didn't grasp that. But my heart still goes out in a way because it's bigger than a memo, folks. We've all been mentally, for generations now, manipulated through information, through the infrastructure, through the education systems, through entertainment and Hollywood and idols and celebrity figures, and politicians. But even more than that, we've been diminished with our health. Okay, look at obesity, look at the chronic illness in this country. Oh my gosh, that's why I'm so excited with RFK. We got an image. You know what? We'll just flash it real quick. Why not? Do a quick flash. Department of Health 2021. Yeah. How does that even happen? It's like going into the gym and having this individual lady, whatever, walk up to and be like, you need a personal trainer? And I'm just going to be like, excuse me? Are you offering me a job? Because if you're a personal trainer, you can have all the knowledge, but you clearly can't back it up yourself. I have no interest. None. So it doesn't even make sense. This seems like a DEI hire 21. We're just fulfilling the role with I genuinely don't know if that's a he, she, or just a woman. Anyway, I apologize, but if it's, you are what you are born with, and there's no change in that. But here we go, 2025 RFK. So freaking awesome. Okay, where were we? Oh, pouty face Pelosi. What is up with this? Folks have been poisoned for too long. Time to shine the light on the darkness. This truly is insane, and my heart goes out to these individuals, but let's wake them up. So, I guess millions of liberal women are shaving their heads due to protest Trump. What does this accomplish? As if this isn't weird enough, like right here. Yeah. Women kissing women, it just doubles the weird. I mean, as adults, you can do what you want, but that's unnatural, okay? You can't procreate. And you really, in a normal society, only under like extreme rare situation should I personally feel you even be given Not, yeah, no, there shouldn't be children given to that. Oh my gosh. All right. So clearly I'm struggling for words today. I don't even know if I want to play this one. It's unbelievable. Liberal tells Trump's supporters to kill themselves and says if we don't kill ourselves, that she will kill us herself. It's horrific. How is this up? How is this up? Like, I get censored for warning folks with the truth on the data regarding a murderous shot and plenty of other things that are actually for the betterment of humanity. And this individual is so lost to just...
I'm done with the bullshit. Voted for Trump. Do it. Kill yourself right now. Reply with a...
But she talks about bashing in your skull, just all these things. Unbelievable. It's true evil. Clearly, it just exposes how effective evil has been through their war machine, and we must fight back and shut it down so these individuals less and less are manipulated and entirely hacked, as the World Economic Forum would say, and just controlled. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I could watch this again, to be honest, but come on, you gotta be kidding me. The world we live in.
Good morning. It is
the
November
world we live in.
7th.
What is this?
Thursday. And got my lipstick on today, so I'm a little bit more together. We're putting a plan together. I cannot live in a country that voted for Trump. I cannot spend 4 years under that man. And so we have made the decision that we are leaving.
Okay.
We're putting a plan together. Our plan is...
Leave. Take all your cats and please do us the honor and leave. Please. And while you're in Australia, I think you said do a nutritional balance, hormonal balance, parasite cleanse, and eradicate the metals, and maybe you'll come back to normal. Maybe. I mean, I was lost with alcohol and things. Who's to say this man dressing up thinking, I don't even know what he claims he thinks he is, but he's clearly a man. But it just, golly. Now, obviously, not all Kamala supporters are, I don't want to misrepresent. There's some pretty educated, like normal, but they've fallen prey to the propaganda machine. Anyway, I found this interesting. I don't know what else I was going to touch on that. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted, to be honest. Like, it is so crucial we move the needle as far as we can with as much momentum as we can to push back against all of this. Now, if you want to play dress up in your own home, great. Do you have the freedom to do it in the street? Yeah, sure. But rights to refuse service with businesses, and there shouldn't be lawsuits against that. Individuals should be able to speak their mind, and freedom of speech, dead naming. I mean, there's been people banned, in prison. Like, are you kidding me? You're a freaking dude. Quit being weird. The whole world. This will forever exist. Unbelievable. You're not a woman. Let's I don't even want to get started on the circus. Let's continue. This was interesting.
Okay, my fiance just pointed something out to me. Look at this map. Look at all the states that Kamala has won, okay? Now look at all the states that no ID is required for voting.
Interesting. It literally was illegal. There were individuals trying to get their, I mean, there was this one gentleman, it was pretty funny because he kept saying, like, because they were just asking his date of birth or something, and he's like, he gave it to him, you know, to match the thing, then get the thing, and he's like, well, it might be. And he continued going back and forth, just trying to get them to be like, all right, let's verify this dude and grab his ID. But they wouldn't. Unbelievable.
Isn't that all the states that Kamala won?
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that right there.
Good stuff. Wow. It's a perfect freaking match. Folks, you broke the system they created. Fantastic. Time, like, let's go. Doesn't it just kind of prove we've been trying to build momentum to get us organized to reach out to state officials and stop the chemtrail and gain health and maybe even address the frequencies. I mean, but everything we've been trying to do or demonize, it's demonized itself. An actual bioweapon shot known as COVID, still on shelves today. Of course, we've reached out. But they keep sweeping it under the rug. So we need to ramp up our efforts in this time. And anyone that won't listen to We the People, if we gotta drag them out of that seat, whatever it takes in this opportunity we have. This is cool. Enjoy this video.
Has shown that 12 minutes of focused prayer every day for 8 weeks can produce enough change in the mind to be measured on a brain scan.
Are you serious?
That's true.
So it's reconfiguring neural pathways.
Yeah, 12 minutes. That's all it takes. A focused
Scientific
prayer
proof.
every day for 8 weeks can produce enough change. Well, think about this. Toxic thoughts like fear, anxiety, unforgiveness can damage the brain and the body through the chemicals they produce. People don't realize this, but fear, okay, now,
which pump.
There's a certain level of fear that protects you, right? Like, you know, a car's coming and you're walking across the road. But over time, if you live in fear, it produces negative, results. And so, but when we pray, our body produces chemicals that have a positive effect. Fascinating. Has shown that 12 minutes of focused prayer every day for 8 weeks can produce enough change in the mind to be measured on a brain scan.
Are you serious?
As though the spiritual aspect and with the feelings we get isn't enough. Now, I know a lot on Muzzle Chat family get it, but there's always someone that has church hurt or scars from childhood or family or just excruciatingly tough life experiences, and it makes it really hard to in this existence and with experiences like that to open that door to God. And mortally it's easier to blame God. I get it. But we don't even need this scientific proof. Jesus gave us enough evidence. The Bible gives us enough evidence. But here we go. Scientific proof that this life is more so the illusion over the spiritual side of everything. But the power of prayer right there. Rebuilding brain and neural pathways. I'm going to up my prayer intention. I'm actually going to watch this again. And we need that type of healing. We need that type of connection and upping our resilience more than ever, folks. So here is an amazing tool for us to add to our toolbox, dust off, lube up, freaking just shine it up, have it ready to go. Journal your experience. Don't mess around. Take it serious. And reach out to unmuzzledchat@gmail.com. Let me know how it goes for you. Whether you want to come on and speak publicly or not, I would love to know. Love to be your friend. God bless you. Let's continue. Oh, now this one's a tearjerker. I don't know if you've come across this one. I wanted to play this and represent all the individuals we've lost. Too many of our children, of our soldiers, our heroes, parents, grandparents, loved ones, friends, colleagues haven't made it this far, didn't make it this far in this. It's not just life. A lot of them were taken through the war tactics, through chronic illness, through the vaccine bioweapon, through biowarfare, through the warfare the bankers' wars. But we've lost too many. So I want this to be a tribute to all those we've lost and are losing. And I hope it ramps up. Like, we're all visiting here, folks. What we do with this moment, that's where it's like, this is bigger than our jobs. This is bigger than so many of the things we're tapping into, getting distracted intentionally by evil so we don't fulfill the greater purpose. It may be more challenging at times, but it is way more rewarding and way more fulfilling, and it's worth it.
Hey Dad, if you're hearing this message, then it must mean that I wasn't able to make it back. My work as a soldier has asked the greatest sacrifice of me.
Oh man.
I'm sending this message with the hope that it might offer you some solace, some understanding, despite the pain that you must be burdening in your heart. Here's something I forgot to share with you for a while, Dad. I love you. Never did I say it enough while I had the chance, but it's something that has always resonated in my heart. I remember how we used to camp out in the backyard. I was barely bigger than the tent at the time, and you would point out the stars, and you always told me they were brave soldiers from a far-off world, forever shining down on us. It was those nights that shaped my dream to serve our beloved country. I hope this message brings you strength.
Yes.
Know this.
Strength.
If I could, I would have fought 100 more battles just to get back home to you. But unfortunately, life sometimes has different plans.
Right.
So please, Dad, don't warn me or break me. I lived a life of honor.
Yes.
I braved challenges, and I got a chance to love you. You are my hero. And if I'm remembered as half the man that you are, then my life has been a rousing success. I gotta sign off now, Dad. But one more time, and forever. I love you. Hey, Dad.
I should have maybe ended that before he cried there. That's what this life's about. Can we build up the love we have for one another to more so set down the selfishness, the self-serving nature that this corrupt world has instilled us with? It's not just defective wiring, folks. It's legitimate programming. And when we serve each other, we could wipe this cabal off the face of this earth and Satan along with them. That's beautiful. I hope in a way that comforted those that have lost. I mean, realistically, we all have lost loved ones at this point. Another powerful message. Let's go. Let's continue. This is, I don't know, with tissues almost necessary. Am I failing kind of a celebration? Maybe. Define celebration, right?
You are a chosen one by God, destined for greatness. But the reason that you don't experience that greatness is because you're not choosing yourself. Here's the fact. I want you to imagine this. Imagine God is the coach of a football team. And you're on that football team, and he comes out to you and he says, I want you to be a captain. And you sit to yourself and you think, oh man, I don't know if I can be the captain. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I have so much doubt and fear of myself. But God's waiting for you. He would love if you came up and asked how to be a captain.
Yes.
If you came up and said, hey God, I'm doubting my ability to do this.
Yes.
He's waiting for you to come to him for guidance so that you can rise into the position that you were made for.
Yes.
But you can't rise if you don't choose to take a few steps forward. You are the one holding yourself back. Remember that.
Oof.
You are a chosen one by God.
Said. You are a chosen one by God. Each and every one of you. Man. We're all going to fall short in a lot of ways. Oh. Can I not fast forward this?
Destined for greatness.
I'm trying to ponder. I just lost the very last phrase, and I wanted to reemphasize and speak on that a bit. But I'm not going to bore you and go back through it. I'm human, more than most. And if anything, please just let my defects fuel you that much more to up your health and fight against this cabal, because the thing that's ailing me, and it's no secret on this podcast, and limiting my neuro connections and cognitive abilities is none other than Lyme disease, a bioweapon that dates back to the Cold War. And my heart goes out to so many individuals that are dealing with more so the new biowarfare, and they're ramping up. I mean, now it kind of makes sense leading up to all this, why they've been ramping up the sprays in the skies and buying up more farmlands, attacking healthy food sources, combining mRNA stuff into food and who knows what else. But the RSV, come on. They're ramping up RSV as solutions, these weight loss solutions. I mean, it's all under the guise of good. It's deceit, and it's destructive. Well, let's continue. All right, there's that beautiful image. There is a lot of momentum RFK's building, and I'm super excited about that, because my goodness, if we're able to maintain free speech and get more people to choose freedom, let's educate folks best we can. Now, this was one of my ending notes, but I'm just going to touch on it now. Best we can, let's ask them if in fact they value freedom. And if they answer with the yes, then it's simple. They must get on free speech platforms. Now, after a while on free speech platforms, you can dabble on the more tyrannical, censored ones with the knowledge. With that information, now you're more cognizant and more equipped and shielded to falling prey to their censored topics, what they're boosting to, let's say, the forefront, what's being mostly viewed. They're manipulating all of that. There are mega algorithms built out on those, and it is enslaving them entirely. You don't have free speech. You don't have your freedom. Full stop. So to be showing up to censored, controlled in that aspect, you're choosing slavery. So we can have that discussion with them, to educate them, to get them on free speech platforms to hear more truth, to set them free. Let's bring more into the know. Oh gosh. Yeah, fantastic idea. Sounds fair to me. This was just an image I had to pay tribute. I don't know. I guess with the title, it just seemed catchy. But let's have illegal immigrants hunt down sex offenders for a chance at citizenship. We'll call it aliens versus predators. It's kind of satire, but it's kind of like, because we all know legal systems in California, things like that, they're not even allowed to. So, I mean, sounds kind of harsh, but it's not. What's worse? Let's be real. What's worse? Alien versus predators. Allowing the predators to continue to prey on children, women, or allow aliens to take out the predators, which is worse. I'd venture to say predators preying on our women and children. So that just provokes other thought processes to more realistic solutions. And I like that. Oh, this is beautiful. And as much as we won the House, Senate, and the White House, it seems. But you could see it seems across the board, horrifically lost to pro-life. And it breaks my heart that people, there was a gal behind me when I went down and I made it into vote. And by the way, that's why my studio has stayed up here in the wilderness, which it's freaking freezing. So I kind of have like a freezer burn on my face today being out there. But totally beside the point. I apologize. But as I was in line, kicked off a wonderful conversation with the lady behind me. We were agreeing on everything. Now, she filled out her ballot, but all she needed was the envelope. I guess she misplaced her envelope and she could just drop it in. And they're like, sorry, ma'am, you got to get in line. Well, she was still under the assumption when she got up there that they were going to give her an envelope. She could just drop in the thing and go. Well, nope. I guess the envelope's tied to the ballot in some way, and she had to go fill out a new one. And she aired her frustration just kind of out loud and was like, well, I'll do the Trump and I'll put it in there. And I look at her and I was like, no, there's still more important things to fill out on there, such as like the border or Carrie Lake, which Carrie Lake, has seemingly like she's lost, right? And what does that do to her strong stance on pro-life? That is downright unacceptable. We all need to get loud on this. And I don't care. Women will discredit me as a man to even speak out on this topic. Which is like, it takes two to tango. It takes two to create. It takes a very specific act between a man and a woman to create life. Yeah, it's my body, my choice regarding that specific act. You can't rule out responsibility after the fact. However, that's not this lady's argument. The minimal percentile was her argument. So you're going to vote in, which is going to allow a lot more murder to cater to rape victims and mothers that have complications and lives are under threat. Well, there's already solutions to that. So it's mostly the predator thing, but you still have that ability. It's just prolonging it further out. What? I strongly advise anyone that, let's say, disagrees with what I'm stating here to look into these ultrasounds. Educate yourself on the forming of a life. It's not clumps of cells or fetal tissue and a fetus. It's a life being formed. As God depicts, He's knitting us in our mother's womb. That He has plans for us before we're born. It's murder. But it just broke my heart. And it seems statistically, women are more susceptible to believing the lies, believing the deceit on this matter, ruling out responsibility. I mean, we should be pro-life no matter what, even, yes, for the horrific rape victims. They should want for nothing. After all, there are, 1 million abortions happening in this country every year? 1 million murders? When there's 2 million registered individuals on the adoption waiting list. Problem solved. It just breaks my heart. Because right here, look, this video in and of itself.
Nenê do pai. Oh, meu Deus do céu, gente.
32 weeks.
Ela
smiling
tá feliz, meu Deus do céu.
At her dad's voice.
Bebê.
See? Wow.
Mas, gente do céu. Nenê do pai. Oh, meu Deus do céu, gente.
Look at that. That is precious. That is worth fighting for. So as much as the needle moved in a good direction in a lot of ways, man, it sure went south regarding this. And a lot of this is a unorganic movement. I mean, with the destruction of the family, with the spiritual warfare against God, with the information war machine, with, oh my gosh, the toxic gender poison. I mean, it's the woman's rights, and then next thing you know is like, this is kind of the hypocrisy with it. It's like you got women fighting for women's rights, and then next comes men obliterating women in women's sports. And who supports that most? Women. So there's things to be addressed, and it's no secret women are more emotional with their decision making. So we must address this unorganic war machine that is poisoning hearts and minds. Too much selfishness, too much selfish thought. Me, I, my, me. What about the child? What about the baby? What about the life being formed? All right. I got this just before this episode kicked off, and it lit me up. This is very exciting, very hopeful, because I've been on the side now of censorship for a long time, just being censored, and it's more than demoralizing, disheartening. It's actually infringing upon our First Amendment, and we don't have that. We are not free, my dear listeners, my family, my warriors. Not even mine. I mean, I can't say mine, because I give this platform to God. I know I fail him, and I just need to do better at turning it over to him and becoming a vessel. But 100%, all glory to God. But this speech is powerful and gives me hope for the future in a huge sense. There were red flags, so we'll see. We will see what happens. Because in one hand, he wanted to stomp out anti-Semitism, and it's like, oh no, that could be real bad on, regarding freedom of speech. But then you hear things like this, and it's now more so promising. But regardless, we need to unify to ensure all this takes place.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country.
Right.
The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. Within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. We need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called
false and disinformation.
The time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Let's go. That is freaking huge. That is
we don't have
phenomenal. Yes. It's a beautiful moment, folks. So I don't mean to. We'll play this last one, and then, in fact, we'll dive into Jesus' calling and wrap things up. And I am sure excited to dive back into the fall of the cabal. That's another fallen soldier, Janet. We lost such an amazing warrior. But if Trump does that, I mean, shoot. We'll start reaching the masses together way faster. There has been a mass awakening, but there's a lot of people still misled, actually misinformed by those projecting as though they're protecting against misinformation. They are the misinformationists. It is unbelievable. So, yeah, there's some things to consider here. And great points. Our roles have only begun. We must prepare for anything. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Donald Trump is not inaugurated. He's not in office.
It's true.
Just because he won the quote-unquote election,
true.
There's a long list of things to go. And I'll tell you what sets off my spidey senses about all of this. They are all acting fairly reasonable. And it's for one of two reasons. One, they are either terrified and they know they're fucking caught and they know that they've got to step in line or they might that's their only chance to not get held accountable. Or two, they have a backup plan to do something terrible to Trump. Now remember, these people fucking tried to kill Trump. The fact that they're calling him and saying, hey, let's do this civil and shit, that's so out of character for them. It makes me think they have another plan. Donald Trump is not inaugurated.
Great points. They tail tucking or they gearing up for some pretty dark things. Who knows? But we must get prepared. On a preparation note, folks, things we could do. I mean, we got our affiliation with American Reserves. You could look in all the clips. Wow. Settle down, stomach. I don't know what's going on today, I tell you. The regiment is kicking my butt. I'm trying to address a Lyme flare, and it just is what it is. Doing the best I can, folks. Here, maybe this will help me feel more confident. I'm human, folks. But America, so all the clips are in the description below that we played. You want to send that out en masse, any one individual or this episode, please get it out. I am going to do my best to show up and do better and better. I feel like I've been pretty stagnant, and I apologize. I owe you more. So our affiliation, American Reserves, you just mentioned UNMUZZLED, you get 10% off. They don't only have survival food, they have water filtration systems, generator systems, lots of things you could get prepared on. Check them out. Click the link below. The most important, singular, if I was to tell you to do one thing, I feel so profoundly convicted that we need this EMP shield on our vehicles yesterday. 100%. I feel it's the single greatest preparation we could do. And considering for a few $100 what it actually provides, you actually get the most bang for your buck out of preparations you can in fact do. So by clicking the link below, you actually get $50 off every single product you order through them. So order some EMPs for, you can get it for your home, your solar system, your generator, but you could buy multiple of them and give them out to family members and friends, because you don't want to be the only working vehicle out there on the road. So the more we get this distributed, the more we're even protecting ourselves in a sense. However, when things go down, there'll be a window that you'll have the ability to drive, and you can ensure you and your family get to a safe place. It's crucial. The other things we could do is up our resilience. Check out Bond Charge, get 15% off through our affiliation, get an infrared sauna blanket. They even have red lights like this. This is one I got before that affiliation, and I apologize for having it here. It is a really small space, but I don't know how else. I usually set it up in bed, but this being a teeny bed, it's the only place I'm going to be able to use it every day. And this is part of my treatment. And there's a lot of benefits to near infrared and red light therapy. Look into it, research it. Well, Bond Charge actually produces and has products that have been tested that don't put out bad energy and frequencies. So be sure to check that out. The Blue Blocks glasses, the infrared sauna blanket, like I mentioned. I should actually get in that thing tonight. But let's eradicate the heavy metals. Get Masterpiece. That's a miracle tincture. It's not only eradicating forever. I'm jumping ahead of myself. It's not just eradicating a lot, pretty much the majority of heavy metals. It's also eradicating forever chemicals. Let's give a shout out to Pure Benefits Aesthetics and Wellness, and Caitlin and Kay. They are amazing individuals. If you happen to be near Scottsdale, to look up that facility, see what all they got going on. But they got an MD currently still engaged with them. She's pretty booked out, but man, is she awake. And she's getting to the roots of a lot of issues, and she's helped me greatly. You could check out Unchained Wellness Clinic as well. They are amazing, and they're on the leading edge with a lot of things, kind of just biohacking and just great people in it to get to the root of the issue, to help breathe life into you. So if you have any issues, give them a call. Check out Insure a Patriot. I've been including that little clip. I actually talked to Mark over there, and I need to shoot some footage, and he's going to inject some updated version. But we all have personal insurance or life insurance or business insurance. I mean, if you're a business, you have more to benefit to calling him, because all your employees, you could potentially up their coverages and save money in doing it. And through this affiliation, he's building out free analysis, entirely free. It'd be illogical not to give him a call. So click the link below, mention UNMUZZLED, and he'll give you a free analysis, a free build out and quote, everything. Information's not going to hurt you. Check out Patriot Mobile. Same thing. Click the link below. If you call them, mention UNMUZZLED, they're going to take care of you. I believe they're offering a month free right now. So not only could you potentially save money or up your cellular coverage, you could in fact gain a layer of protection and privacy as your mobile provider over these tyrannical providers. Now that should be worth more. They should be charging you more, but they're competitive. So be sure to check that out. More of us need to jump over. Couldn't be happier myself. That's it on the affiliations. Folks, once again, big pat on the back. Way to show up. This was freaking fantastic. I'm excited. I'm excited to have the opportunity to connect more and fall into my role here in God's will, what He wants me to do. I believe it's, my character flaws that keep getting in the way is to really walking that path clearly. I'm still stumbling. Maybe it's just the path to take. It's just got more rocks in the way. It just is what it is. This Lyme disease is no joke. Biowarfare is no joke. Congratulations to those that actually find health. I know so many that have fought it even longer than I, and it's been chronic longer than I, and they're still freaking on death's door. So I'm grateful to have at least the function I do have, but my goodness, my muscles deteriorating. It's no joke, folks. Let's stop poisoning ourselves and take health seriously. That is a huge aspect to our spiritual connections and even falling into God's will. All right, so Jesus is Calling. This is November 8th. It reads, learn to appreciate difficult days. Yes. Be stimulated by the challenges you encounter along your way. May they become the gems on the shelf for us all when we embrace the challenges with a grateful attitude. Sounds difficult. It is difficult. I should just eat my own words right there. As you journey through rough terrain with me, gain confidence from your knowledge that together we can handle anything. This knowledge is comprised of 3 parts: your relationship with me, promises in the Bible, and past experiences of coping successfully during hard times. Let's grasp those. Let's do a flashback to that gentleman. Oh, I just realized I still got this whole screen up. I apologize. I'm rusty. But that gentleman that talked about prayer, scientific proof they have regarding intentional prayer creating new neurological pathways. Could you imagine what it's doing? Healing other parts of the body, upping our resilience, connections, everything. There's 3 parts given to us just right here. Look back on your life and see how I have helped you through difficult days. If you are tempted to think, yes, but that was then and this is now, remember who I am. Although you are... Why am I putting words in here? Although you and your circumstances may change dramatically, I remain the same throughout time and eternity. This is the basis of your confidence. In my presence, you live and move and have your being. Wow. I'm telling you, from the best gifts, the best healing, the best experience I've had in my life has been connecting and building relation with our loving Creator. And do not be deceived and put investment in the one falsifying himself, trying to show up as though he's our loving Creator. He's the deceiver and will destroy you. Let's gain the distinction and the discernment as to who to tap into. Pray in Jesus Christ's name to cast out all evil saboteurs, spirits, demons. They will flee. Maybe that could be what's hindering and holding some of us back. So there's a few biblical references here. Let's actually, I'm just itching more and more every day to dive into this Bible, man. So let's go ahead and read. We got Isaiah 41:10, and it reads, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand." He could do it with his words. He could do it with his pinky. Victorious right hand. Wow. Another one, we got Psalm 102:27. Jeez, I'm having a hard time seeing here. Now this is one I had to wrap my mind around a bit. It just states, "But you are always the same. You will live forever." Maybe that's speaking of the promises in heaven. Then we got Acts 17:28. Golly, I love it. This is the light. This is the word of God. This is truth. This is truly the roadmap. We should be putting more and more time, and I'm speaking to the man in the mirror when I say it. I need to invest more time into this each and every day. Just speaking it out loud. That out loud just feels right even to me now. 28 reads, "For in him we live and move and exist. As some of your own poets have said, we are his offspring." I'm so grateful for our loving Creator. We didn't deserve it. We deserve damnation. We do. But through Christ, he's paved a way for us. He saved us. He set us free. So you can see everything anti-freedom is from who? Of who? It's coming from the synagogue of Satan. And we have had our backs up against the wall for some time. It is absolutely crucial in this moment we gain as much momentum as we can and push back those lines and gain more of the freedom of our loving Creator and abolish this synagogue of Satan around us. They built out a lot of energy and infrastructure. Who knows what they're going to do? But let's say, bring it. Bring it. Our God is victorious. In the war in heaven, Jesus showed us through conquering death that this is just a moment. We're not to get wrapped up in this moment without absorbing the big picture. That's what this existence is all about. So my dear brothers and sisters, let's unite. Let's freaking go. Let's get this country back. Let's get our health back. Let's bring God back. And let's hold Trump accountable, or all of them accountable to God's will, our will. Because if we don't, evil wins when good men do nothing. So you can see where all this tyranny's come from. Time to push it back where it freaking belongs. All right. I can't wait to dive into the fall of the cabal, get back into that, expose more of the infrastructure evil stood up so we can really dismantle it. I love you. May our loving Creator God bless you this wonderful day and forever. Until next time, I don't want to say goodbye. It's a good moment in time. Let's continue this momentum. It's not a time to chillax. Let's double down. And then when he's inaugurated, let's triple down. It is up to us. No one individual can save us other than God himself. But in this existence, he wants to see his children unify. So let's do just that. Let's be obedient and reap the reward. Until next time, take care.